Preston Leinenbach for Otters TV, now being joined by former Evansville Otters pitcher Randy Wynne. Randy, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely, Preston. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's been a weird year, so I guess I'll just start out. How's life been for you?
It's not what I'm used to say the least, but, trying to make do. Just out here in San Diego. I actually had quarantine, moved in with my girlfriend, and it turned permanent. so that was cool. But, just I'm doing a little coaching for a travel ball team and some lessons here and there. So just trying to stay around the game pretty much.
So going back to, I guess, when this whole pandemic and the quarantine process started back in the spring, what was life like for you then? I mean, as everybody in the baseball world is kind of waiting and waiting it out and seeing what the call is when the call comes?
Yeah, I was actually in spring training already. So I got the invite from the Reds to come back for this year. And spring training 2020 was 2 weeks underway, and then that Friday hit, and I was actually doing pretty well. I hadn't gotten any live ABs yet, but I'd thrown a bullpen, and it had moved me from one work group into a higher one. So I was making upward moves, and then everything came crashing down. But so things were good, and I guess I left myself in a good position, but obviously not ideal.
For you in the situation of being with affiliated baseball, obviously they just made the call a couple weeks ago about the minor league season, but do you know what the next step might be for when things get back to normal for you all?
Yeah, I mean, the Reds have been awesome about communicating with us, especially like the pitching coordinator, Kyle Bodie. He's been great. He's calling us, every other week. We have Zoom meetings every week. So they've been really good about keeping in contact with us. As for like what the future holds, they're not real sure either. They're talking about maybe like a fall instruct league or trying to just get us out there and do something. But as far as like set in stone, probably next spring training.
For like now, just to kind of just stay ready in case that fall league does come up. I mean, what are you doing to stay ready in your training process?
Yeah, well, I have a group of guys out here, some indie ball guys, some minor league guys, and we're all just trying to, stay ready, play catch every day, keep up the workouts, even though the gym's just closed here in California again. So got to go back to the quarantine workouts, but. Like not a lot changes. My days are still mostly revolved around baseball. Obviously I miss the atmosphere. I miss, working with you guys and coaching staffs, and getting into routines obviously is a little harder, but, for the most part, we're doing all right out here.
And during your free time, what have you been up to? Do you go out and play some golf or something just to kind of get out and I guess freeze the mind a little bit?
Absolutely. I try to get out there once a week with my dad. Actually got 2 rounds lined up this weekend, so that'll be good.
So how's the golf game?
Oh, it's as bad as ever. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, serially in the 90s, but I wish my fastball was serially in the 90s, but maybe we'll be able to flip-flop that one day.
Oh, that's great. So last year, 2019, as you mentioned, you started the season with the Evansville Otters, had basically just picked up right where you left off from the year before, and then obviously getting picked up, Cincinnati Reds organization. So talk about going back to last year when you did join the Reds. What was that like, and what were some of the things that you learned about yourself, not only your game, but also, I guess, internally as well?
Yeah, it was an interesting learning experience, and it honestly fortified a lot of the things I had been doing already. It's still baseball, just because it's affiliate. The things that I was doing to prepare and the way I was going about my job, they stayed consistent. And it actually, I think, impressed a lot of people in the organization. I mean, granted, I was a 26-year-old in rookie ball playing with a lot younger guys, but they called me Gramps. That was like kind of a joke nickname, which I didn't mind too much. It was kind of funny because some of these kids are like 18, 19, 20, whatever, and I'm 26. So like the Gramps call was pretty funny, but I did actually get to kind of talk with the younger guys a lot about how to make it a job, because you go from school and playing, and it feels like school is your job and then baseball is your fun. Well, when baseball goes from being fun to your job, like a couple things need to change just about how you approach what you're doing, and they're not always obvious, so I think that it actually showed me that I'm on the right path, it feels like, with how I prepare. So that was good.
And with some of those younger teammates, especially this year, this is kind of a new situation for everybody, with them just trying to get their career started. is there any kind of message you've been giving to the younger guys to just kind of tell them to stay with it and keep going?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we actually did have a guy just up and leave in the middle of rookie ball last year, which for me, being an indie ball grinder, was almost offended. We got fresh off the draft to just be like, I'm good. I was like, wow, but every guy wants their own thing. Not everyone wants this life, so I get that. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch some of these kids. They're so talented. They're way more talented than I am. And so seeing them just have those raw skills and trying to help them kind of refine it a little bit. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I want to be a coach, too. I want to be a pitching coach professionally whenever I'm done playing. So it's a good kind of litmus test, I guess, to work with my teammates in the bullpen and stuff like that. My biggest tip for them usually is about breathing, honestly. Because, everyone gets those nerves. It doesn't matter if you're pitching in front of, 50 people or 5,000. Like, you get nervous sometimes. The batter's in the box, the umpire's there, all eyes on you, and breathing really lets you use that energy instead of have it rattle you.
Especially when you're a pitcher, I assume as a starting pitcher, it's not just going out there for one batter. I mean, you have to do it over and over and kind of just keep yourself mentally locked in. I assume that's a huge thing for you guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I couldn't tell you how fast my heart's beating during the national anthem out there. But then by the time I turn around, I get my breathing right, we're ready to go, But I think that you need that. I think I need those nerves in that moment, or else, I might not have as much energy pitching. You just got to learn how to use it, I think.
Here, with your pitch arsenal, have you developed any new pitches since you joined affiliated baseball? Or are you still working with the same arsenal you had when you were at the Otters?
Yeah, no, same arsenal. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Mostly two seams on the fastball. Yeah, pretty much the same stuff. The Reds seem to like my mix. They just wish I threw a little harder. So, but we have the driveline guy now as our pitching coordinator. So they've sent me all the weighted balls, and I've been working all that. So hopefully we can get a couple more miles an hour out of the arm. But yeah, as far as the mix, it's pretty consistent.
And speaking of consistent, the one thing that has always stand out about your performance is, one, you've always been kind of, especially with the Otters, you were a big innings eater, if you will. You always went deep into games for the Otters, but also your strikeout to walk ratio was, almost perfect. How do you stay so consistent with hitting the strike zone and not giving those free passes away?
I think for me, it's a mentality thing. Honestly, every time a skipper gives me the ball to start a game, I have this outrageous thing in my head where I'm thinking, okay, I could throw an 81 pitch, 27 strikeout, 9 immaculate inning, perfect game. And honestly, that's what I strive for every single time you hit me the ball. So I'm failing most of the time when I'm going out there because I'm giving up hits and I'm giving up runs and I'm missing the strike zone every once in a while, right? So for me, I guess it's about setting the bar so absurdly high that I guess if you shoot for the stars, you miss, you end up in the clouds, right?
In your couple seasons with the Otters, any favorite memories about either with your teammates on the staff or any memories about playing at Bosse Field for you?
I loved being an Otter. I mean, being an Evansville Otter is always going to be one of my favorite times looking back. Honestly, having that place packed out, pitching in front of big crowds a couple of times. I remember pitching against, I think it was Washington Wild Things. Actually, that was my first outing with Evansville ever. That one was special to me. It was opening weekend, and I'm coming off of a different indie ball league. This is my first time in the Frontier League. For me, it was a move upward, so I wasn't really sure if I was at the level. There was just so many uncertainties. I feel like I barely made the squad. I'm a starting pitcher, but I was in the bullpen, which never feels like a good thing as a starter.
That's right. I forgot about that. Those first, how many appearances out of the bullpen before you moved to the rotation? There weren't that many.
Like 3, yeah, because Nathan Forrest ended up getting hurt, and I ended up taking his spot. But so that first outing was opening weekend against the Washington Wild Things, and I think it might have been like an ease for every one night or something because it was absolutely packed. And I remember coming out and just absolutely knee knocking, just so nervous. And then probably got control of my breathing or something because I think I punched out 2 in that inning and walked off. I felt pretty good about it. So that was definitely a special one for me. I guess the one time I got pitcher of the week,
Oh yeah.
First week of last year, yeah, because honestly, I went into that thinking my arm was hurting, and then to get a pitcher of the week out of that was kind of cool. Again, generally, I start slow in a season, and usually end of July, August is when I start to kind of ramp things up. So to kind of have it early, um, that one felt good, and it was cool because we were wearing those the Otter Bell uniforms, or like the
Oh, the League of Their Own
the
night.
League of Their Own uniforms that
Yeah.
night. Yeah, so that was cool too. But I think what I'm gonna remember the most is all the bullpen conversations with the guys, shenanigans in the clubhouse, and then of course the fans. Bossy fans are incredible. We love them. They love us. It's great out there. So yeah, a lot of good memories at Bossy.
Do you keep in touch with any of your former Otter teammates?
Oh yeah, there's some group Snapchats out there.
And I guess in an appropriate way, what are those like?
They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, we even have some. We kept a couple guys on there, like Mitch Aker and Garrett Harris. They stayed on the group, so like we got guys that aren't even on. I'm still on there, so it's pretty fun.
We're always asking if especially for their former players, if they ever keep in touch with their teammates, because it's obviously when everybody's going different directions and all over the United States. Sometimes that's a tough thing to do.
It is hard, and a lot of us have played in a lot of places, so there's a lot of teammates, a lot of former teammates.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, those Otters teammates, man, like some of the most fun I've had playing ball for sure.
Well, Randy, I really do appreciate the time, and thanks for doing this.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Anything I can do for you guys, I'm more than happy to do.
All right. For Randy Wynne, former Evansville Otters pitcher, I'm Preston Leinenbach. This has been Otters TV.